Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Homestand, the official podcast of the Kansas City Royals. I'm Carrie Gillespie, and I am so happy to welcome Amir Garrett to the show today. Amir, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
We are so excited to have you here today. I know you had to come in a little bit earlier than normal, but we appreciate you taking time out of your day to chat with us.
Oh, it's okay. I was coming in early because I sucked yesterday, so I'm about to just come and get my mind right early.
There you go.
It's all good.
Well, we're glad to have you on because you are without a doubt one of the most outgoing, have the most personality of any guy in the locker room. And you're always telling me you want more play on the socials and you're always ready for the close-up. So this is your episode for the Amir close-up. We're going to learn all about you and get all the fans to get to know you better.
Okay, good. I'm ready.
He's excited.
I'm ready.
All right, so the first thing we do is we start at the beginning about where you grew up and what you were like as a child. So you spent time in both Las Vegas and California, right?
Yes.
Tell us some about your childhood, where you grew up and what it was like.
I'm from Victorville, California. I grew up in Barstow, California, which is 30 minutes outside of Victorville. I moved to Vegas when I was about 12 years old. It's kind of like a blur because I lived at a lot. I lived in so many different places. Mm-hmm. It was just, it was just so fast. I was in one spot and then I was in another spot and then I was in another spot. But, grew up playing baseball. That was my first love. Baseball and football, actually. I grew up playing those two sports. And then I got introduced to basketball at 8th grade, and that was a sport that I fell in love with, and I put everything to the side. It was basketball or nothing, and I got pretty good at it in the span of 2.5, 3 years. Mm-hmm. Had a whole bunch of scholarships to play basketball, and at the time I wasn't playing baseball anymore, but I always had a live arm. I was always able to throw hard. I remember I was throwing 95 at not trying to brag, but yeah, I am kind of. But I was throwing 95 at 14 years old.
Yeah, you can brag.
You know what I mean?
That's intense.
That was unheard of. It was insane, and I didn't even need practice and stuff. I would just go out there because I just like playing baseball. You know what I mean? It was in the backyard to me. It was hey, you want to play baseball? Yeah, today. All right, here's a 95 mile an hour fastball. I was like, what the heck? How can you do that? But everybody knows my journey kind of. My dad had to force me to play baseball. He forced me to do this because I was set on going to the NBA, and I'm like, Dad, I'm good. We're good. I'm going to the NBA. We don't have to worry about baseball. Whatever. I don't want to play no more. I don't want to play baseball. And so I played a handful of games in high school. Maybe literally 10 games, and I couldn't really play because I was a pitcher and I threw so hard, and we didn't have a whole team. Guys couldn't catch me, so I'd play first base, and it was it was just what are we doing? You know what I mean? And I was yeah. I would go back and forth to basketball practice, to baseball games. I was this is stupid. I don't want to do this. But so my senior year came around, and my dad he tricked me, and I was doing some work. He was like, son, just for me, let's just work out for a month and let's see where it goes. I just want you to do this. I really want you to do this. And my dad was very adamant that I was going to be an MLB player for a long time because he says my hands are small, my feet are small. He was like, you can't palm a basketball. You're 6'6" in a size 12 shoe. It doesn't add up. You're going to be a baseball player, right? And I'm like, yeah, right. I'm not going to be a baseball player. I'm going to be a basketball player. So long story short, I work out for a month. My dad comes to me. He's like, Amir. He's like, we got one scout, one team come and look at you. It's the Tampa Bay Rays. One scout, whatever. No big deal. So when they set this up, I went to the field to do, essentially what it was just not a trial, but it's just a exposure event. I thought it was for one club, and I got there and it was every MLB team, every team that you could, all 30 teams were there scouting me. And I'm like, Dad, what are you doing? And he's like, nah. He's like, well, that one turned into 29, so go out there and go get him, champ. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. So, I was lighting up the radar gun and stuff like that. And, after that, they're like, hey, you're going to get drafted. You're going to be, a top prospect, and I was like, yeah, I don't care. I'm a kid. 18 at the time. I'm like, Dad, I'm going to be in the NBA. I was like, thank you guys for coming, but you're wasting your time. Like, I'm not playing baseball. And it's just so funny how my journey turned out because, you know, here I am in the MLB.
Yeah.
And I never even wanted to play baseball. But he just, you know, like my dad forced that upon me. But, you know, I wouldn't, there would be some things I would change, but, you know, I'm, you know, highly blessed. You know, the Lord gave me an ability and I was able to capitalize on it.
So I love that your dad tricked you, as you say.
Yeah.
And I love that he had that vision the whole time. He was like, this is what you're going to do. And you had this one vision, but he was like, no, like, this is what you're going to do. And you, like, reluctantly were just like, Dad, no. And
Yeah.
here you are all this time later. Where were you getting scholarships to? Like, did you think about that? What was going on?
I already had a bunch of scholarships already at the time. Like, I had KU, I had so it was KU, St. John's, Oregon, UCLA. I had everybody in the country, but these were my last few that I was down to. But I was set at the moment. Like, I think I commit to St. John's at the time. I'm not sure. It was in. No, I haven't yet, but I didn't. But, you know, once I made it, I went to New York to visit. I like committed right on the spot. Like, I was like, all right, I'm coming to New York. It's over. But yeah, the plan was different. I'm telling you, like nothing was ever set in stone for me. I didn't know where I was gonna go, where I was gonna be. I just, you know, hopefully I knew that I was gonna be a professional athlete in some capacity. I could even tried football. You know, I was just said that I was gonna be a professional athlete.
I love that when we like started this, you were like, well, my first love was football and basketball. And then you're like, and then there was baseball. So like the two sports that you liked the most, like those aren't even the ones that you ended up playing.
You know what's crazy? My dad made me stop playing football as well. I was really good at football, but like my freshman year, my dad would tell it to you like this too. He was like, he was like, you're just reckless. Like you hit too hard. Like I was playing safety one day and I went up and like I just just smashed this guy. It was just like boom, just like decleated him. And then like my dad was like, all right, that's it. Like he was like, you're done. Like you're just reckless. What are you doing? And I was like, Dad, like we're just playing football. What do you want me to do? I'm supposed to hit him. And he was like, nah, you're done, son. Like he was like, you're not playing football anymore. So, you know, it was just like. It was baseball and basketball at the time, and I'm just like, man, what am I doing? And then it was just basketball. I was like, all right, well, I'm happy with just basketball then.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so cool. Now you have brothers and sisters, right?
Yeah.
Were they always like, were you in the yard throwing the ball around, football, basketball, whatever it was? Like, did they keep you in check when it came to being athletic and playing sports?
My older brother, he'll tell you that he's better than me at sports, but he's
now?
He's not. Yeah, he'll talk mess to me, and he'll be like, oh, I'll hit it out the park, and. He's like 5'9". He's a big guy. He was in the Air Force and he actually was a professional boxer. Yeah, so that's probably the only thing he got on me. He can fight. He can beat me up, but that's it. But I have a younger brother right now that's in junior college right now, and he was very athletic. He was really good at baseball too, but he's better at basketball, so he chose basketball. So I think he's gonna be the next one up that. You know, in our family. And then I have, you know, some other brothers in between that played football. He was all right. I had two brothers that were all right in football, and then one little brother that I had, he tried to play sports, and he really wasn't fond of it.
Do they have similar personalities to you? Because I'm just imagining like all of you together, like roughhousing and like talking smack to one another, and like. So
the crazy thing is, like, if you got me around all my siblings, I am the outcast. Like, it's like, yeah, I'm always talking mess, or like in my family, like I'm always talking mess. I'm always, you know, the loud one. I'm like, everybody always says I play too much, and it's like you see my little brother that's under me. He's just like so very mature, and then like my older brother, he jokes around too a lot, and like I'm like, hey, listen, I'm 31 years old, and he's 34, and I'm like, you better stop hitting me, like, you know what I mean? And like, it was one time we got in a fight, like maybe like 3 years ago. We were at my house, and like I was like, listen, if you hit me again, I'm gonna kick you out of my house. Like he was like, oh, let's get the boxing gloves player. I was like, I'm a grown man. Like, and he hit me in front of my wife, and I literally wanted to start crying at first, but I was like, I cannot cry. Like, here, you hit me in my house in front of my wife, and I was just like, dude, if I could, I would just knock you out, but I just can't. I can't. Like, he's just, you know.
We're adults.
Yeah, we're adults, but no, he'd beat me up. So I was like,
Yeah.
man, I was like, I wish I could just knock you out, but if I try, then we're just gonna fight right here. Then I'm gonna get beat up and I'm gonna be embarrassed. And I'm like, I can't even do it. Like, you know what I mean? I just gotta take the L. I just gotta take the L with big bro. I have to. You know what I mean? But yeah, if you got me around all my siblings, you guys definitely would be like, how? Like, you're just different, you know?
Have you always been like that, though, that outgoing personality? That's one of the things I really, like, respect about you and like about you is, like, you just are who you are. And you like to play, as you said, and you're always, you know, keeping things light, which I think is so important in a clubhouse, but just in life in general. Like, you don't take anything too seriously.
I don't. You know, I'm very, like, you know, I let a lot of things slip off, you know, off my shoulder, but you know, when it's time to get serious, it's time to get serious. But like for the most part, like I'm pretty like outgoing, easygoing. Like a lot of people love being around me. Like you know, a lot of people say I put smiles on their face, and you know, it's just like I think it's just from your upbringing as a kid. You know, like I'm not gonna get into all like my upbringings, but it was just a different like when you get older and you realize like you have the freedom to do what you want to do, or you know, or like. I didn't have the stuff I have now. I didn't have when I was a kid or whatever. And it's just like, you know, I came up with some pretty tough times, and you know, it's like that's what made me. And it's like I made it through that. So like it's time to party. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's how I look at life. It's like just, you know, I'm just gonna do what I want to do because I can do what I want to do, but. You know, I like to have fun. You like to have fun, but you like to bring other people along with you. It's not like you're out there having a party by yourself. Like you said, like I know you are always making guys laugh. Several of the guys have told me that you're the funniest guy in the locker room. They all will proudly say that. So you like to have fun, but you like to bring other people along with you, which is such a really great quality to have as a teammate. It's just how I am, man. It's just like I love like I never like so when I first got to the big leagues, it was like. Hey, like you got to sit there, be quiet, whatever. Like it sucked for me, and I'm just like, man, like I'm so cool, like you know what I mean, like, dude, like let's get to know each other, let's get to hang out. But that's not how it was, you know. You got an older guy, you got a vet, and he's like, hey, yeah, shut up, Amir, like, and I'm just like, man, come on, bro, like, nah, I don't like you anymore now. Like now we can't be friends, now we can't be cool because you're just like. Being a butthead to me. And when I got some time under my belt and like guys were younger than me, it's just like, hey man, like you don't have to sit here and act like that. Like not around me, you don't. Like if you want to have fun, like be yourself. Do what you got to do to get you ready to come in the game, or to come in and perform. But like most importantly, like what we do, we play baseball. Like you have to enjoy the time like that you have here. Like this is fun. Like we get to play baseball for a living. Like some of these guys that I played baseball with are some of my best friends because it's like every year you're playing with the same person. It's like you may not even like that person, right? But they're a part of your life every single day. Like I had a teammate when I was in COVID. I was like, when we got shut down, I was like, I don't like that guy in the locker room, but I said I miss him because he's a part of my life. Like I was like, dang, I want to pick up the phone and be like, hey, you're stupid or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? But that's just what I would do. Like, hey, like, don't talk to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm mad at you today. Like, it's just like people become part of your life. But like, it's just like, you know, like I just like to have fun, like to enjoy myself. Like, I'd like to be around good people. Yeah, I love that. That's so unique and so Amir. So I want to go back to college and talk about that. So you ended up playing at St. John's, which is all the way across the country in Queens, New York. But there's like you were playing college basketball, but you also got drafted at the same time. So like kind of walk me through how this happened, because as I was reading it, I was like, this is not like typically how it goes. So how did this all like wind up? So then again, my dad, this is he made me do this. You know what I mean? It's like so when I got drafted, and I'm gonna tell you a funny story. When I got drafted, they're like, yeah, you come to New York, whatever, like the green, whatever. I was like, yeah, you're gonna go first 3 rounds, cool. And I was like, nah, let's just stay at the house, right? So I was supposed to go high in the draft. I ended up going the 22nd round to the Reds. And when I got drafted, I was actually sleeping. Like I was sleeping. I was like, oh, we watched the day before, the 2 days before. I was like, I ain't getting drafted. All right, well, I'm going to play college basketball and go to the NBA. And when I got drafted, my dad woke up, hey, son, you got drafted. I was like, what round? He's like, 22nd. I'm like, man, we out, bro. Like, I'm not going to play baseball. I'm done. Like, nah, 22nd round, but I didn't really know too bad. I was like, 22nd round. I was like, there's 50, Dad. Like, what are you talking about? And, you know, my dad's like, oh, yeah, son, good job. So when I got drafted, we're able to work out a deal. It's like, all right, I told my dad, I was like, listen, if they don't give me this, and that, like certain amount of money, then to quit playing basketball, then I'm just going to go play basketball. So, the Reds, they came up with a deal and said, hey, we'll give you this amount of money. It's public knowledge. We'll give you this amount of money and you can go play college basketball. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm 19 years old. I'm like, oh yeah, let's go. We out of here. Let's go party. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got some money in my pocket. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it was every year I had to start like June 12th of baseball.
Yeah.
Right. And then I would leave August 25th. So that was essentially 3 months right there, whatever. Yeah. And it was so hard. It was the hardest thing I ever had to do in my life. You know what I mean? Because it's like, okay, I'm playing basketball. Now I got to go to baseball. And like in the summer, like I have summer classes and like I'm on a bus for 9 hours. And it's like, I got schoolwork and I'm like I have to turn in an assignment before I go out there and pitch. And I'm just like, this like weighed on me so much because at the time I'm like, what am I doing here? Like, why am I doing this to myself? Like, I don't have to do this. Like, I don't have to go to school. I don't have to be doing schoolwork. I can just go play baseball. You know what I mean? I don't have to be playing baseball. I can go play basketball and I go to NBA. But I was so conflicted for so many years while I was doing it. But I just, like, my pride, I could not just, like, give up either one. Mm-hmm. But in reality, it was hurting me. I was 21, 22. I wasn't going to the NBA now. It was too late, So somebody told me, I was like, hey, Amir, like, he was like, you don't see 6'6" guys like you throwing hard like you. So if you want to make it to the MLB, like, you should put the orange ball down and pick the white baseball up full time. And I'm like, nah, we're good. And he's like, there's so many people like you in basketball. Just realize that. It's like, if you do this, like, you'll get to the big leagues. Mm-hmm. So I put basketball down, and it was one of the hardest decisions I ever had to do in my life, like, because I love basketball that much, and at that point I really didn't. There was no light for me at the end of the tunnel because I was like, am I making the right decision? Like, am I doing the right thing? Like, am I going to be a professional now? Like, I don't know. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And people like laugh at me sometimes. They're like, why did you choose baseball? And I said I chose baseball at the time because I felt like it was an easier route for me to get to the big leagues. Like, it was or to be a professional athlete. Like, at the time, I was like, I can't. Like, I'm not gonna make it in basketball no more. Like, I'm not really working on my game like that, like how I used to. Like, I'm just like into the crowd. Like, I'm just like just a normal basketball player, just a role player. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm going to go play baseball because it's an easier route for me. And then people laugh and they're like, easier? I'm like, yeah, it was easier for me at the time. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I did it, and I wouldn't change like my journey because that's what made me. Mm-hmm. And like the resilience I have. And it's like, I seen the grind in basketball. I seen the grind in baseball, and it just made me to the person I am today. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you gotta trust the process, and you gotta grind no matter what. If things are good, things are bad, you still gotta grind every single day.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like you're one of those people where like once you're all in on it, because like you said, like it was easier for you, which I just want to like preface it is not easy to make it in the MLB is not easy.
No,
so
it's not easy.
Part of the time when you're saying it was easier for you, it's just like mind blowing. Yeah. But you're right with how hard you were throwing and just like physically how tall you are and how powerful you are. And so it's just one of those things where once you made up your mind and you could put all your energy into baseball, it's almost like you like were fully all in and you just couldn't stop. You just kept going.
Yeah,
and
it's like I made it essentially to the big leagues in 2 years after I did that. And my first full season was in 2015, was from spring training all the way till the end, right? So I was never really playing. I was only playing I never had a full spring training before that. I made it and extend it, and then I would break with the camp or whatever, and then I would play. But like 2015 was my first full year like of being a baseball player, top to bottom, and I'm like, man, like in every year you see me progress and I get better. And I sometimes I think back, I was like, could I have made it earlier if I would have stopped playing baseball? Like, if I could have made it at 20 instead of 24 or whatever. I was like, could that have been, but we'll never know.
No.
But I'm here now, and I'm very happy in the position I am in right now.
Yeah. Do you ever miss basketball?
I miss basketball so much. I love basketball, and I will not play basketball because as soon as I step foot on that court, like I'm playing.
Yeah.
Like that's it. I am playing. We're not taking it easy. I am going to play. You know what I mean? And it's like I just have to stay away sometimes because I just get that itch again, and it's like I love basketball.
You got the passion for it. You can tell.
I do. I love basketball so much. I got so many friends in the NBA and stuff like that. And like in the off season, I'm working out with my guys that play, and it's just like, man, I miss it. But you know, I'm a baseball player now.
Yeah, that's so cool. You can still stay close to the game, and I'm sure you
Yeah.
try and take in, some games when you can. Although your season's kind of, interlude there, so you're not able to do it. But still,
Yeah.
to just be a fan and be able to have buddies that play is really cool.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. And like all my guys that are in the NBA, like those are my favorite players.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And so it's just like, it's like, wow. Like I could just live my dream like through them or just sit back and watch. I'm like, that's sick. You know what I mean? Or if I just go to a game, like, you know what I mean? Like it's pretty awesome.
Do you think you could beat Vinny in a one-on-one game?
Yeah, it's not even a question. I don't even know why Vinny would even, if he could even say that he was good at basketball or whatever, if he could beat me. If all these thoughts that he's had or whatever about playing in basketball, just I wouldn't even entertain it.
Who do you think would be anyone on the team could play you one-on-one? Who do you think would put up the best fight?
Dylan Coleman.
Really?
Yeah, we've shot around and played and stuff like that. Dylan is pretty good.
Really?
Yeah, he's pretty good.
He's a big guy too.
Yeah, he's a big guy and he can throw it down, but he wouldn't be able to beat me, but he'll be the only guy that'll be able to give me a run for my money.
That's good to know. We're gonna have to see if we can get it on camera, maybe. I don't know.
Live
stream it.
He got some. He's a power guy, whatever. But I'm too quick with him. I mean, I'm too quick for him. I can handle the rock, so he can't really. He got a little spot up jumper. He can dunk, but he can't do nothing else. So.
We got some trash talk going on right
always.
here.
Yeah, he doesn't got nothing else. Quas too. Quas is he got the little jumper, but that's it. Like. Nothing special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, tell him you said that.
Yeah.
Nothing special.
I always tell him.
That's so funny. Now, where do you spend time in the off season?
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's really crazy. You've lived in so many pockets of the country. Is there one that you prefer to call home, or you hold near and dear to your heart more?
I mean, New York is a place that that was special to me. Queens, New York. Mm-hmm. I loved it there because that was the first place I went to I actually got away from the West Coast, California, Vegas. I got out and went to New York, and it's I tell my wife I was we're gonna move to New York one day, and she's like, no, we're not. I'm like, yes, we are. We're gonna move there, and we're gonna stay there, and we're gonna love it. When we go to New York, I love the people honking the horn, the raunchy smell. I love that. I love being in the city, and it's just I just love it.
I think it matches your intensity.
Yeah, I love it. I just love New York, man. It stinks in the morning, and I just love that stinky smell. I love it.
Oh my gosh! So you want to live in New York someday? I love that, but Vegas right now,
Yeah.
and call Vegas home.
Vegas is my spot. I love Vegas.
You mentioned your wife and you have a daughter. Tell us some about your family because I know that they are so important to you. Tell us some about them.
Yeah, I'm married. I got one daughter, and that's the only kid that I will have. You guys know how I am, and every single day that I wake up, today I woke up and my daughter's like, hi, daddy. Just all in my face, right? And she's just nice and eyes. She's just rubbing me, saying mouth, ears, and I asked my dad, I'm like, and my wife, I'm like, why does she act like this? Why? And they're like, does it remind you of somebody?
She's half you.
Yeah, she's you. And I'm like, my daughter, I was like, why do you play so much? And my dad's like, son, this is exactly how you were. You're just getting your karma back. You know what I mean? And it's we're one and done. I'm not having twins running my family, twins running her family. So we're not doing that. Because if I get two boys, right, then I'm really gonna I'm bald, so I might lose my facial hair if I get two more boys that act just like me. It'll be over, right? So I was like, we got one. She acts like me. She's just the most adorable human being I've ever been around in my life. She's so loving. My wife does really well with her. Ever since having my daughter, just giving my wife credit, being a parent, when we're not around, I just give credit to women that have children, or we just see how strong they are, and it's like my wife does so good with my daughter, teaching her stuff, and and just it's every time I talk about it, I want to cry. But
Yes.
my daughter's she's my world.
You guys, he was just talking about how intense he is, and we ask him about his daughter, and he just like melts. You can just tell.
I do. I have a soft spot. I'm very I'm very soft. The guys in the in the locker room, they'll tell you. Merville that's probably one of my good friends, and like every day I get mad at him, like, and I'm sorry, Merv, like, what I mean? But that's just big brother, little brother type of love right there. That's all that it is. But for sure, I definitely have my moments.
He's saying Merv, you guys. That's MJ. You guys call him Merv.
Yeah,
don't you?
it's just depends, because MJ is like, if he's cool. Merville, it like depends on, like, if I'm mad at him, it's like Merville, like, you know what I mean, or like Merv, come on, like, you know what I mean, or if I'm pissed off at him, excuse me, I'm like, Merv, come on, dude, like, you know what I mean. So it just depends. MJ, Merville, Melendez, whatever.
I love it. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Any other nicknames you have for any of the guys that you like to pull out?
Bobby Witt, his is the truth. I call him the truth because he's so good at everything he does. We got Vinny. I mean, but I call him the Italian Stallion.
Yeah.
But, I don't really like the Pasquatch thing for him. But the Italian Stallion's way better. But that's pretty much it.
I love it. That's so funny. You talked before about getting your mind right, and we know you're so passionate, and you like to joke around, but like when you're on the mound and you like get it out, like you are so in the zone and you're so passionate. We love it. We have so many cool pictures of you just like pumped up, and our creative team will see them and we'll just be like, dope picture. You know what I mean? It's so cool. Have you always been like that? And like, how do you get to that? Going from being light and being fun and then into like killer instinct mode?
I've always been like that, always, all the time since I was, there's a clip on YouTube. I dunk on a guy and pat him on the back. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just stuff like that. Like, I've always done that. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I'm one of the guys though too. So it's like, hey, like, if you dish it out, you can take it. Like, I've been dunked on before, like really bad, and guy gets in my face and I'm like, damn, I lost this battle today. Like, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just like, man, that sucks. All you can do is just go get the next guy, or take it out on somebody else, or go get the next hitter or whatever. But that's just always how I've been, man. I've been very intense. I feel like it's because, like, I don't know. I tell people all the time, I like baseball, but I love competing. I love to win. Like, I want to beat you. Like, if you're a hitter. And we're going to have so many battles, right? So many battles, every year. Like, you're going to face the same guys. You might beat me the 2 times out of the 3, but guess what? When I beat you that 1 time, you're going to feel it. Like, that's it. That's all. I don't care. Like, I won at that time. If we go again and I beat you again, okay, I beat you that time. So now we're 2-2. Like, you know what I mean? And if you beat me that time, I'm going to be like, dang. All right, cool. Next one. And I beat you again. I'm like, yeah, I beat you again. I beat you today. Now I'm 3 out of 5. You know what I mean? But it's just, I've always been like that. I've always been this intense person. I've always, I feel like I play like I have a chip on my shoulder. Mm-hmm. And, sometimes you win, sometimes you don't, but you got to keep going.
You really do. I have to say, you're a great follow on Twitter. You like tweet inspirational stuff all the time. Just like really down to earth stuff. Like, you'll tweet something, I'll be like, dang, that's a good thought. So if you're not following Amir on Twitter, you totally should. And you're also, your Twitter name, Count on AG. Yeah. Tell us some about that. Where'd that come from?
So this is how big of an impact Kobe Bryant had on me. So remember when Kobe Bryant tore his Achilles, I think it was like 2014 maybe, he was shooting a free throw, tore his Achilles, and he was like, you see me in the fight with a bear, like, don't help me, help the bear. And it was like, count on Kobe. Like, that hit me hard. And I'm just like, wow, like, Kobe, like, if Kobe can do this, like, I can do it. You know what I mean? And it was just like, just count on AG. And, my dad that's my hype man. Like, he'll, no matter what, he'll be like, count on AG, and it just always stuck, man. I just think of it as a good ring. I had a bad game last night, and my dad's like, hey, I'm still riding with you, count on AG. And I'm just like, man, that's just, the support system you have, and it's just like, it's just awesome. But yeah, that was basically Kobe. Like, that was his impact that he had on me, and it was just like, count on AG. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna keep it.
I love it. It sounds like you and your dad have a really beautiful relationship.
Yeah.
And I think that you owe him, because he had this vision all along of you being in the big leagues, and you pushed it away so much. So I hope that you give Dad the credit he deserves.
Oh, that's my dog, man. My dad was just in Arizona. He comes out, he chills. My dad's a dude, man. He's a good dude, man. And I'm glad that I was able to have him as a role model for me growing up. And he's just a great human. Like you say, down to earth. Like, I'm very down to earth because of my dad.
Yeah.
And it's like, when I was younger, I didn't really idolize athletes or somebody else. I had the guys that I like, and I'm like, cool, but I idolize my dad. And it's so crazy because when I got to the big leagues, I played with one person that when I was younger, I'm like, man, this is sick. And I met him, and I'm just like, that's not really how I envisioned it.
Yeah.
Right. So now I don't idolize anybody because you never know what kind of person they're gonna be. I was like, that sucks, man. I was like, it was just like, oh damn, I grew up watching you and we're playing together. I'm just like, damn, that's a Debbie Downer.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's just it is what it is. But my dad was very important to me in my life, and I idolize him.
That's so funny. They always say you should never meet your heroes type of
Yeah.
thing. And I think that's because you always build them up as this picture in your
Yeah.
head, and it somehow always falls short. But it's so cool when you have someone in your life that through and through, and you're like, I know this person and I still idolize them.
Yeah, he's just, my dad that's my dog. I know what I'm going to get every single day. You know what I mean? Like I said, he's my biggest hype man. I can talk to him about anything. He gonna keep it straight with me. He gonna tell me he's gonna keep it real with me, and it's just that's all I need right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's my best friend, and that's my dad, and it's I'll bring my dad. We'll go party. I'll party with my dad. We'll go and have a few drinks. We'll go and just chill, and that's my best friend. So I'm blessed to be able to have that relationship with my father.
What are some of your goals that you have for the rest of your career? You've already, made it to the big leagues, been in the big leagues a while. It's so hard to get to where you are now, but what are some other goals that you have for yourself personally?
I just want to be, obviously I want to play 10 years in the big leagues. I'm at 6, pushing 7 right now, but I just want to, I don't know, leave a mark on people. That's it. If you know me for being the baseball player, then it just sucks for you. You know what I mean? I don't really care about being, idolized as a baseball player or anything like that. Baseball is my platform for people to know me as Amir Garrett, the person, not the baseball player. And as an athlete, we have this platform, which is cool. It's sick. You have the perks of being an athlete and stuff like that, but that's not really what I care about. I really don't care about that. I just want people to know who I am, how genuine I am, and hopefully I can leave an impact on a kid or some kids that are following in my footsteps, and and they decide that they want to do this, and make it a dream a reality.
Yeah.
So that's all I want to do.
I love how you prioritize being real in real life. I love this tweet from you on April 20th. I'm so glad those damn blue check marks are gone. People really think having a blue check mark makes them cool. I'm cool in real life. LOL.
That's what I'm saying, though, because it's man, it's so funny. I know you guys seen, past experiences of me, doing stuff. I got in trouble last year for throwing a drink on a fan. Okay, everybody knows that. But it's if me and a fan are talking, or me and somebody are talking, and we're just chilling there, I hate when people bring out a phone and they're you have to live to a certain standard, right?
Yeah.
I'm just oh, you're an athlete. Yeah, so what? Cool. You know what I mean? But this is just me. I'm just talking, chilling, whatever. But those dang check marks, it's everybody thinks they're so cool that they have one. And I'm just I am so happy mine is gone. I don't even know how I got mine in the first place. You know what I mean? Just because you're a professional athlete, cool. Who cares? Nobody really cares. You know what I mean? Outside of what you do here or the arena, football, basketball, I know so many people that just because they're athletes, they're not cool.
Yeah.
That's all they have is just a professional athlete. I'm just bro, you're whack. You know what I mean? That.
You're cool in real life.
Yeah, you know what I mean? there's a lot of top guys that play in our profession or any other profession, and you're like, man, I want to hang out with that guy. And you get a chance to hang out with him, and you're like, damn, he sucked. You know what I mean? And it's like, I've been around people like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, if you hang out with me, you gonna hang out with me. Like, we gonna be chilling. Like, you know what I mean? We can play some video games, chopping it up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I want. Like, when people get around me, like, it's not Amir Garrett, the professional. It's Amir Garrett. Like, so just be ready. Like, you know what I mean?
I love it. Let's go to the lightning round. These are going to be fun. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. First one. Who was your first MLB strikeout?
I think Colton Wong.
Okay.
Colton Wong from the St. Louis Cardinals.
Do you remember, like, what was it feeling like?
I don't even know. It was so long ago, but back then you couldn't be who you wanted to be. You had to be like a certain standard. So like when I struck him out, I was like I couldn't say nothing because the old written rules. But when I struck him out, I was like, man, that's sick, bro. Like it's my first big league strikeout. Like I'm here. Like it was awesome.
I love it. I've arrived. All right, who is the best at Call of Duty on the team?
Ooh. Okay, so there's a few guys that are really good. Dylan Coleman is really good. He's really good at just any shooting game, to be honest with you. Like, he's really good at COD. Quas is good. Clarkie's good. Taylor Clark, he's good. We just start playing together. But I know there's other guys that play. But, once you only have four people, that's all you can play with is your squad, you know what I mean? So I haven't really played with like Nicky, JBJ, but I know those guys are pretty good. But I would have to say DC takes it. He takes the reins.
All right. If you could listen to any musical artist for the rest of your life, or only one musical artist for the rest of your life, who would it be?
Nipsey Hussle.
Okay.
Yeah, it's my dog. I would listen. I listen to him every single day. I would listen for the rest of my life.
What basketball player do you think has a similar game to your basketball game?
Back in the day, it was Lamar Odom.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but now, I mean, I would have to go with my dog Gary Payton Jr. Like we played very similar. We're all over the floor. We bring the spark, and it's like, yeah. So he'd probably be the closest.
Who's your top five? Like, and you could have any basketball team, dream team. Who would it be? Like Kobe's on there. Who else you got?
Ooh, you already know. Kobe's number 1, right? LeBron is number 2. Jordan is number 3. I'm taking Shaq. And I'm taking Wilt.
I was gonna say, Chamberlain. Yeah,
I'm taking Wilt.
That's what
that's a pretty dominant starting five. But for me, Kobe does it. He's the greatest to ever do it. LeBron is LeBron, but Kobe's the best to ever do it in my eyes. I didn't watch Jordan, and so I got to be a realist. Like I got to be a realist. Like it's Kobe and LeBron for me, and then Jordan third. Sorry about it.
No, hey, that's what you got. All right, let's say there's a zombie apocalypse. Who on the team are you sticking with to try and stay alive? Like who's going to make it out of the zombie apocalypse out of the team?
Oh, well, I'm going to make it out, and people that are around me are probably going to get sacrificed. So I'm just going to keep it like that. So I'm probably going to have the biggest people around me. So Dylan's going to be around me, probably Salvi, Carlos, and those guys got to go. You know what I mean? And to save myself, those guys got to go. They have to. But Kyle Isabel, he will for sure stay alive.
Really?
Yeah, I will. Yeah, yeah.
What makes you say that?
Because Izzy's a psychopath. So he will stay alive, and he will be by my side.
He's from Arizona, too, isn't he?
Yeah, he likes to hunt and stuff like that. I'm Izzy's... he's right there with me.
Arizona people, I think, are a different breed because they wake up and encounter rattlesnake every day.
Yeah, no, but
that.
Izzy's from Fontana, so he's that's 25 minutes from where I was born in Victorville, California.
Yeah.
So, but Izzy's a psychopath, so that's why I put him up there.
I love it. When you look back on your baseball career, what do you want to be able to say about it?
Damn, I had a lot of fun. Baseball has taken me so many places I never thought I would be. Established so many relationships with people that I didn't even think I would even be friends with. You know what I mean? And it was all because of baseball, and I'm grateful for that. And it's I've been on this journey, and I got so much more to go, and I'm just happy to be here.
Amazing. Well, we're so happy that you came and chatted with us, Amir. I know everyone is going to love hearing more from you. You really are cool in real life, you guys. I got to admit.
Thank you. I appreciate
your
that.
tweet was right. So we appreciate having you here. Do you want to tell everyone where they can find you on Twitter?
You can find me, Amir_Garrett, count on AG, Instagram, Amir_Garrett, I think. But yeah, just find me there. Be nice too. All right.
Be nice or you're getting kicked out, right?
Yeah, you're getting kicked.
All right, there you have it. Amir, thank you so much for being here. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I've been your host, Carrie Liebert-Gillespie. We can't wait to see you again very soon. Make sure you subscribe because we got new episodes coming out all the time. We'll see you again.